Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Laylas Light Channel Art. I am Jhoanne, the painter of Laylas Light. So today I wanted to tell you all about how spirituality and woo-woo stuff combine kind of like help sells my artwork. And it's actually not only because of like selling my artwork, but how spirituality embedded in me is actually helping me so much in terms of like my mindset or how I show up in the world. Because I do show up in a more aware way or like a more vibrant way, it's actually one of the key reasons why I believe that I'm able to attract people who are interested in my artwork, not through like in terms of like logical mind, but rather in a very intuitive, heart-based mindset. So if you are interested to hear all about it, stay tuned because this is all going to be about my process of being woo-woo, what are the practical steps, and how I actually see the results. Let me go through it step by step like this. I believe that one of the most important things to incorporate spirituality into our life is equivalent to the ability to be able to hear your own inner voice or your own heart. Why is it so important? It's because that you are born uniquely who you are. I'm not saying that other people, they don't have their own process and things like that. Everyone has their own process, but it's actually the following of your inner voice that leads you to your path. My darlings, you are born on this earth as you. You're not born to be anyone else. You are born to be authentically you. So that's why like when a lot of people say like, oh, like maybe you should go, check out what other abstract painters are doing or their paintings is like pretty much like yours. I actually really don't resonate with that kind of like message typically because like there's two things that I really want to highlight. A, your artwork, as long as you actually listen to your heart space, is always going to be authentically yours. Even though you use the same like color palettes or like pretty much like the same flowy art technique style, but when you actually like see like the final product of it, it's just authentically yours, right? And being authentic to yourself is actually one of the layers that really can connect to people's hearts so they can be true to their heart as well. Being authentic in this self means that you actually need to really know who you are. Now, a lot of people will probably walk around on this earth feeling a lot of negative underlying tone. The first one is definitely I don't feel enough. The second one is guilt and shame. The third one is fear. And the fourth one probably is like listening to what other people have to say and wanted to feel accepted for what those people want us to be. Now, I'm going to stop you right there and say that you are enough. You being you right now, maybe you're not at the best version that you want to be or you're in a working process, but that's just absolutely beautiful because that's just where you're supposed to be. The second thing that I really wanted to highlight, or the other thing rather, I don't know how many like numbers I already threw off or like thrown in there, but the ability to listen to yourself is equivalent also to the ability of how much you can quieten your mind. We have so many like static noises outside of us, the news, what people are saying, what the social media is trying to like bombard us with. If you're actually like always in that kind of like setting, then the ability to actually listen to your heart goes way down, like way down, right? So if you really want to go down the path of like, being authentically who you are, unapologetically, to be able to create something that is really in resonance to your heart so you can shine through to, the buyers, then I really urge this practical tool, as tale as all the time, which is meditation. That is right, people. Meditation. So my journey also started with the fact that I have a spiritual teacher many years ago, and actually like through synchronicities I get to meet her. If you're interested to hear all about it, maybe you can comment that you want to hear about the story so I can actually do a video on it too. But long story short, it's actually that I miraculously meet up with my spiritual teacher. And she told me like, day number one that meditation is like the single most important thing that you can do for yourself. Now, back then I didn't really understand, why. And I thought that I'll never be able to meditate because, like, are you serious? Like, I mean, me meditating, it's like so many crazy things going on, right? I couldn't even imagine. She actually asked me to practice consistency, and it doesn't have to be like, oh my god, like first time like 30 minutes on the go. It can be like, you know, as soon as like 5 minutes first in the beginning, and then when you feel comfortable, then you add another minute, you know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, so on and so forth. The one thing I really want to share as a technique, doing meditation at the same time, at the same place. Because in that way, you will actually train your mind to be in that mindset of like, you know, going to meditation period. And that's when your brain wiring will kind of like trigger that, oh, this is the time, you know, kind of like setting a new biological clock for yourself. And by that token, when you actually like tune into it, like me personally, I actually do it first thing in the morning when I wake up. I will be like, oh my god, like I can't do this. And then, but at the same time, like I actually see so many results out of it. So once you actually start to see results by being able to tune into yourself more, I would say like it goes to the point whereby like I train my brain to believe that I am enough and that I'm actually like worthy to receive like things into my life, be it love, be it like, you know, abundant, or, you know, maybe being like, you know, finding the clients that is really in resonance with your heart, who really wants to pay for your artwork. And so these are the things that when you go through meditation, then you kind of like train your mind to be more at peace and to be more aware of like, you know, what you kind of like, what is your North Star. Now, I'm gonna say that there's so many, you know, techniques in meditation, and again, do what resonates with you. But if you really want me to go deep dive on like, you know, how meditation process helps and stuff like that, or how to do it, then please leave me a message. I'll be more than happy to share you my secrets and like tips as well. But in any case, I've been meditating for, I would say, around like 4 years straight now, every morning. And I must admit that it's a bit of an addiction. Like if I don't meditate in the morning, then I kind of feel like the day is off. I'm gonna give you like a really good example of what is the most significant thing that really helped me throughout the process after I start meditating in a very consistent level. First things first is that I learned to really quiet my mind, right? I take deep breaths, I actually like go deep into it. And I feel like I'm able to kind of like listen, you know, more. And the funny thing is that maybe you won't get like, you know, a real message, like a booming like voice from the universe, or like from like Mr. God, or, you know, things like that. But what I'm trying to say is that you as yourself, you have like another higher spirit up there. And this is like another part of the woo-woo part. Just think of like maybe if that's a bit, you know, concept too out of your comfort zone, then maybe think of like your guardian angel. Maybe that's more comfortable, right? Or like your ancestor, your loved ones that passed away that kind of like wanted to give you like the message. So I would believe that, let's say like if you have a question like, oh, like, you know, what do I do with like this situation, or how can I attract more clients? And I will be in my deep zone, and then I will try to like listen. Sometimes, more often than not, I will not get any message. I will not hear any, you know, ding 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 during the meditation. Or sometimes I think like the one that always happens to me mostly is when I open my YouTube channel, I will actually get the exact thing that I need to hear. And it's just like unbelievable. Like a lot of times that happens to me, and I'll be like, oh, like I really need to do this. Once you're able to listen to that kind of like nudge, it's kind of like fun. You know, it's kind of like a hide and seek situation, or like a puzzle that you kind of, you know, kind of follow through, and you'll get some sort of like reward afterwards. Now, I'm gonna tell you this, it's not every time that you follow your heart that it's gonna materialize exactly the way you want it. More often than not, it's going to be something that either the feeling is equivalent to it or beyond, yeah? If, for example, I'm like, oh, you know, I really wanted to sell more paintings, and, you know, paintings order hasn't come in a couple of months, right? I mentioned in my previous message that if I actually like in the past 4 or 5 years consistently divided all my orders out, I get orders every month. But it's not like every month someone will come in. It's be like lump 1 month. So it's in the period of like not selling the paintings that sometimes I'm like, oh, like, you know, what's going on? But at the same time, I also wanted to clarify that energy doesn't really work like linear. It kind of works like the way it has to work through. And then the part that you experience as a human being is necessarily for you to go through in order for you to be able to hone in that mindset, that strength, that like courage for you to continue to do things, right? Because I don't know if you know this, but all of the successful people, the one thing that they really, really have all the time is consistency. They're the ones that actually like day in, day out do the work. They won't give up, and then they see their North Star that this is exactly what they want, and they will stick to it. And the outcome might not be linear. It will be like probably a quantum leap. But just so you know, I think having a strong mindset is one of the most important things, because you're more aware, you will listen to your heart, and when your heart says that this is exactly what you need to do, even though you don't see it materializing in your external world yet, but I'm going to tell you this, energy never goes away. It comes back in another loop some way, somehow. As long as you don't give up on your dreams or like your energetic like vortex, then it will come back. It could be 1-fold, 10-fold, 100-folds, who knows, as long as you stick to it. All right, guys, so I wanted to say that these steps, especially like meditation, have kind of like really honed in my knowing skills, knowing how to connect with my paintings, knowing how to be who I am. And that energy by that token is attracting the right person, the right buyer who is in resonance with my soul to buy my paintings as well. And also, I really hope that this message truly helps, because really important. Plus, paintings for me, I love colors, and spirituality, I believe that all these things is just the core essence of what I'm here to do, you know? So that kind of message is what I really want to relay to you guys. If you're an artist, then I hope that you already establish a strong sense of like your niche point, why you do what you do. But if you are someone who's interested in going to paintings, I hope that this message helped for you to build your core strength and the foundation of who you are. You might not know who you are yet, but it's okay. It's a journey, right? You need to take all the experiments, all the steps to exactly know who you are, and that's fine as well. But as long as it's in alignment to who you are, makes you feel good, then that is the way for you to go, right? And finally, for the buyers that might be happening, or like for anyone who just wants to find an abstract art that is resonant to your heart, you don't have to actually know if that art makes sense logically. It has to make sense when you look at it and how you feel about it, because your feeling is actually the most important guidance of how you resonate with a painting. You obviously do not want to bring in a painting that is not in resonance with your house, or you actually want to bring in a painting that has really high frequency in order to like uplift your like emotions when you see it as well. So I'm gonna leave the message here. And I also wanted to say that if you are interested to following my art journey, please do click like, subscribe, or follow my Instagram page at laylaslight. Or if you are interested for me to paint for you, because I'm open for a commission art as well, then let me know. That's actually one of the things that I love the most. I'm able to tune in into your frequency in order to paint something that is really in alignment to your soul. And by that token, that portrait or like that painting will amplify your energetic level to the next quantum leap. All right, guys, I hope my message resonates with you somehow. And if you have more questions, just leave it below on my comments and I will get back to you on it. All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.